name's Helen, I'm the Diddy Stitcher, my pronouns are she, her. It is Thursday the 22nd of February. My brain just stopped. It's grey outside, it's been grey for weeks now it seems. I'll get right into it. Last video we pulled the hanged one, it's all about waiting mode, and I think I kind of not got through it because I think I'm still in waiting mode, but kind of come to terms with it, and I'm okay with being here and I don't need to rush things, so that's okay. This week we pulled the Six of Cups. I love this card. Six of Cups is all about childhood, nostalgia, innocence, like just childlike bliss. Yeah, really love this card. Not sure how it relates to my stitching. Could be that I need to get Anna more involved in my stitching. I don't really want to go back to stitching how I did when I was a kid. Little card kits on 14 count Ada. But yeah, maybe it's just the childlike joy of stitching, because I have been doing a lot of stitching and I'm really loving it. Like, I don't want to stop. I keep thinking about everything that I could be stitching on, everything that I could be starting, new ideas for like stuff that I could design. So that's fun. I'm gonna open a Etsy store or anything anytime soon, but just stuff for me that I want to do. So it's all like positive energy, maybe like lack of inhibition. You know, when you're a kid, you just do something because you don't have the fear. Maybe it's that. Anyway, I really like that one. Really love that card. What I'm loving, I am loving my baby Anna at the minute. She's just so cute. She's almost 4. She'll be 4 in 2 months. And she's just been so sweet. And I say this before, like, she can be a terror, but this morning, so she came through to our room in the middle of the night, as she usually does, and stays in our bed, and I didn't want to get out of bed this morning, so Alex was taking her to nursery, like getting her dressed and getting her breakfast and stuff, and I was just laying in bed because I was cold and didn't want to get out of bed. She comes up and we had these little like little fabric hearts that we hang on the door handles, and she always takes them off and like comes up and like gives it to us when she's like wants to show her love. So she brings me one of these in bed. She's like, I'll put it under your pillow, Mammy. And she goes, what do you want to wear today, Mammy? And I'm like, oh, you can pick out a t-shirt out of my drawer and these like blue jogger bottoms that were on the floor. And she's like, okay. And she picks them up and she goes and puts them on the radiator. She's like, they'll be nice and warm when you get out of bed, Mammy. Breaks my heart. Absolutely beautiful. So yeah, maybe that's, I'm like thinking about Anna. Just enjoying this time of her being I still call her baby. Shouldn't really. But yeah, just this morning, just like no fighting, no complaining about having to go to nursery, just pure lush. Like, she's a really good soul, For this morning, it was anyway. It will change when she comes home, I'm sure. Anyway, stitching. I've had a few FFOs. So, last video, I showed you that I had finished my tarot from Amie Light of the Moon Studios / Misfit Stitches on Instagram. And I've FFO'd them all. So I had already FFO'd the moon and these I got to match. So literally it's just wrapped around some cardboard with some felt glued on the back, and I just realised that one of these I need to put a bit more glue there, but that's fine. I'm so happy with these. Absolutely beautiful, perfect designs. So I'll put up what Ali's model looks like, because I've like strayed not far, but like put my own spin on it. So I had this, is it 32 count linen with it's called Sparkle Silver from Zweigart, and it's got this like printed metallic stars and little shapes on. So like this deck that I have that's like black and gold, I want this to be like grey and silver, like that kind of feel. So grey fabric, a DMC satin 712 I think, or 721, like grey, and then 2 diamonds. Was it like the B5200 diamond and 1/6 something? Like this, like the silver. Oh, where am I? This like silver, and then almost like the white. So it's really subtle compared to Ali's, which is like black fabric. What does she use? Like gold, and then the orange accents for everything. I've got for a much more subtle kind of all the way through of them. I did change the doodads in the corners. I think on each one, Ali had a different one. But I just kept them all the same. But apart from that, I think they're stitched as called for. Don't think I made any other massive changes. So yeah, that's my 3 tarot cards. Don't know if Ali's going to do any more. I would love her to. But it's a good little set, like the sun, the moon and the star. Very nice. So those will go downstairs and sit on my little dresser under my TV so I can see them. I've got a little bowl with some other little smalls that I've made and some crystals and stuff. So very happy with that FFO. And then my other FFO is another little FFO. This is Tiny Paintings by Tom Katsumi, and this is the 3D printed frame that I got off Etsy. I think the last video, did I show you? That I got it in, some hair on it. So it came to me just like primed grey, like what do you call them? Like not World of Warcraft. Warhammer little models come. And I said I would find a gold acrylic paint that was like the right shade. So I went to Hobbycraft the other day and went to their like Airfix section and got like 4 or 5 different kinds of gold, and I got some silver as well, just so it's on hand. But it was so difficult. I've painted over the swatches that I did on the back, finding the right gold, but I'm very happy the way this turned out. Can't remember which one I actually used, but I've just wrapped it around some cardboard and masking taped it in, and I haven't even painted the back of the frame, but that's fine because nobody sees the back. Really, really happy with that. I think it looks really fun. Really pleased with the dimensions because it's like a really odd size. That's why I got it 3D printed. So yeah, so where should I put it? Maybe up there or down here. It'll go up behind me so you can see it somewhere. But we're so pleased with how that turned out and really glad that it's not sat in my wardrobe anymore. I need to do more finishing. I've still got quite a few stuff that needs like professionally framing, so budget isn't always there to do that, but I think I've got stuff from 2020 that still needs framed, which isn't good. Maybe if I come back from Canada with some of the money that I've saved, pause for hilarious laughter. I can't tell if it's my ring light or this lamp that's flickering. Anyway, if I come back, if there's some later in the year, we'll see how the budget looks for some framing, because there's my Twas the Night that I keep thinking about that I wanted to get done for Christmas just gone, and it never happened, so I need it for Christmas next year. Can you see that flickering? Anyway, so yeah, and then my last finish, not an FFO, but an FFN, a finish for now, let me get this out, was these 20 stitches, Stitch for Pride 2024 February section. Woo! Oh my god, I love it so much. So this is the section that we worked on for February. This is a representation of Kahindi Wiley. Ooh, my teeth and lips aren't working today. So I'll put this down for a little bit and talk about it. So I knew of Kahindi from seeing his presidential portrait of Barack Obama like years ago, whenever he did that. Loved it. Like, I just loved that it was so different, and like a big FU to all the traditional, like, European style portraiture that had been used before, but also because that's how he's influenced as well. It was really, really interesting reading about it and getting to listen to him talk about it, about how he influenced by the masters, as they called them, but puts black people as his subjects, and just like he goes and asks people on the street at a market to model for him, which is just brilliant. I absolutely love it. Of the like the resources that Dee had given us to do our research on, it didn't come up, but of course you like watch the videos on YouTube and it suggests another one for you, or you're just like, I don't know if you do what I do, but you want to like Wikipedia surfing, clicking all the links and stuff. And what I kind of was getting from looking at his work was this like block printing of the florals and the plants and stuff that he uses in the background, and I was like, I love that. That's like William Morris, who is an English artist from like the 1800s, who used that like repeating pattern. You'll know him. The Strawberry Thief is a really popular cross stitch. That's one of his like designs, and I grew up loving that kind of repeating pattern and the just like the nature of the nature. So I like actually Googled it. I was like, is Candy like influenced by William Morris? And he did an interview about it where he was like, yeah, that's like, I was like, oh, that makes sense. Like that totally goes with what I'm thinking. So when I did January, I picked out the heart and the triangle to do in pink. So I was gonna try and see what Dee gave to us to work with. So the like called for colour, if you like, because I don't have the jasmine flosses, is this green, and I picked out a Cottage Garden Threads nude that I had, and then looking at the design Dee had done, and their explanation of it is supposed to be like this old European coat of arms that has been taken over by the vines that we see so much in his work, which it just, so I love it so much. So what I saw in this, and Dee told us about the eye as well. So I picked out the eye instantaneously. And then I picked out these, like, what I saw as, like, floral heads that are reminiscent of Morris's work. So I picked this out, and then, like, little flowers in here as well. So I kind of just highlighted on the PDF where I would like it to be a different colour. And then I was looking through all of the colours that I have pulled for this project and seeing what colour would work best with this green, because it's a really deep, rich green. And actually it was the blue from Keith Haring's. So I think it works really well together. I think it screams Candy's kind of colour palette. And to me it really speaks to what Dee was trying to represent. And I think they did a fantastic job. So that blue that I've now used twice, I have it here. So this is another Cottage Garden Threads nude. I can't remember what it might have been. So Cottage Garden's nudes are like their mist eyes or their end of hanks, where there might be some knots in or some colours that they don't keep anymore. I think this is a mist eye of something, but I can't quite remember, and it's not totally off. But yeah, it goes from this like kind of light blue to this like really rich purple. I want to eat it. And this is the rest of the pack that I've pulled based on Dee's guidance for, they gave us like the DMC for each month that would be. So I've pulled that, and then I'll just, so this is the floss that I use for the pink in Keith Haring's one. So this one I've now used twice, so I'll put this away so I don't use this again. It's kind of, it'll get more limiting, I guess, as the year goes on, and I might not be able to choose but we'll see. And then I don't know where the next one gets put, but if it's next to this, maybe I'll try and use the green. Does that make sense? It's kind of see how you go. It worked with Keith, it's worked with this. I don't know if it's going to work with the rest, but I really, really love this whole project. I love stitching these designs. I think they're perfect. I love learning about all these LGBTQ+ artists, like kind of rethinking my own view of these, because I did kind of know Keith Haring, I did kind of know Hindi Wilder, Wilder, why do I want to say Wilder? Wiley. And then actually we were looking at, in the summer we're going to get the living room redone, because we've been saying we needed it redone since we moved in. It's got a really ugly fireplace. So we're getting the fireplace kind of ripped out, and it's just going to be a hole. We're going to get it tiled. And thinking about decorating the stairs somehow. And I'd picked out a wallpaper with a Morris print. And we went to Cragside, which is like a National Trust house and grounds, and they have a lot of Morris stuff there, and also these like really amazing tiles that I want for or like some kind of inspired tile that I want for the fireplace nook. And just thinking about artists and what they're inspired by and what they want to convey in their art. I've just been inspired and I love it. So thank you, Dee. So that was my finishes. Whips. What did I start with? Megan. One of the Megans of Long Distance Stitches. We like to do these, I'm not explaining this well, little zooms, because we're both working on Angel of Love. Lavender and lace, huge piece, chunky, sometimes intimidating, so we're kind of, I say holding each other accountable, but it sounds a bit extreme. We're just like egging each other on with these zooms, so we've got a dedicated time to sit down and work on it together and just have a lovely chat, because she's just a lovely person. So I work from home and I stay home a lot. Megan travels a lot for her work, so it's kind of, we're beholden to when Megan is free and, you know, has capacity to sit down and Zoom with me. And usually, because of the time difference, it's like really early in the morning her time. So also, is this the first thing that you want to work on when you wake up in the morning? It's a lot. Thank you, Megan, is what I want to say. So I worked on this little bit around here. I'm going to try and get before and afters. I've been saying that I wanted to do this for ages. But actually I should with kind of something like this. So I filled in like the metallic around here and some more beading like kind of across here. I think the next one is my like 50 rows up goal for the year. I'll probably hit that if we keep going, like doing a Zoom a month loose schedule. And I'll probably have to move my Q-snap either one side or the other. I could probably get like up to the beading of the dress, because it's like a lot of cape as well, which is just this DMC blue. I think there's a couple or three DMC blues, and then this Krynic, which is fine to be put under a Q-snap and fine to kind of come back to later. But if I can get the beading, which might come out to like here, and then this side of the cape kind of thing, it could work. But yeah, it's just nice to kind of like have a time to actually stitch on it. I kind of need one for chatelaine as well, but also made more plans for Canada, so that's exciting. So the next thing I worked on, I didn't say about Angel of Love. I'm stitching it on a 28 count even weave that I hand dyed myself, and everything is called for. This is my project for the second most magnificent ink circles round robin. This is Forest Flower, and it's a complete conversion into Sulky and a Veriswap. A Veriswap? I can't remember now. Is that what it is? It's like, it's 12 weight. I'm really struggling today. Anyway, I'm on team 40 count. Me, Stitchy Natty, Kim, Crafty Teacher DIYs, and Julia Julicious, who is graciously hosting this round robin. We're on team 40 count, so this is 40 count. 1/2 with the sulky, and it's like kind of, it's puffy, I would say. It's not delicate. I didn't really want it to be, so that's okay. So I've done a conversion that kind of is in the spirit of After the Roses, which is my first ink circles, because thinking about doing the living room in the summer, it'll be green themed. So these two pieces will kind of go very nicely into the living room. Yeah, this is 40 count Cafe au lait. I believe this fabric to be cursed, because this is the fabric that I'm doing Singer Sampler on, which, if you've been here before, is my cursed project. It's also the fabric that I'm doing Sleeping Bee on, which has like 0 margin at the top. This one is cursed because I started it this way up because I was stitching in hand, and then for some reason I just put it in my Lowry that way. So my crosses aren't going the right way for a section of it. And you know what? I don't care. So I'll let my partners know not to worry too much about which way they hold it. But yeah, I think this is the last of this fabric that I have. I was going to cut a bit off for some Quirky Quakers because I need them to be tiny. Not sure if I'll do that if it's cursed. But yeah, I'm loving this bit. This like pink and these dark pink things. It reminds me of an axe a little. So yeah, I think I'm about halfway done with my quarter. Julia's already finished their quarter, and they're sending to me. So I said, if you want to send it early, I could maybe try and get it done, because then I hand off to Kim and I can hand it off to her at Stitch North, which would be good because it saves postage over the pond and also kind of speeds things up a bit. So I need to get this one done quick so I can send it to Kim maybe by the end of the month. And if they get it by, like, say 2 weeks, middle of March, could they get it this done by the end of April to hand it off to Natty at Stitch North. And maybe we could have a little... We'll see. I'm going to get this done because it's on my like to be done list. If you're using Notion, that Natty, not invented, but gave us the stitchery template. One of the templates in there is like a SAL tracker. You can put in all of the stages of the SAL or the swap or the round robin or whatever. So I've got 2 round robins, Stitch for Pride, I've signed up for a SAL, and I've got my Kit It Up swap in there, but my Kit It Up swap got to my partner. I'm waiting for my Kit It Up swap to come. It's been in Dublin since the beginning of February, so I don't know whether somebody needs to ask about it. But that's like, it's a really good template for keeping track of what's next and what's your deadline. I just feel like I've got a lot of stuff on a deadline, which doesn't feel great because I feel like I want to stitch on everything and I've got to stitch on certain things. Oh, I've got my models in there as well. So if we can get some round robin stuff going a bit earlier, selfishly it just helps me and my kind of timeline. Anyway, speaking of models, between last video and this video, I've done 2,791 stitches and I finished the 3rd one of 4. And then the 4th one is like 9,000 and something stitches that I have to do before I leave for Stitch North. In my tracker, it's like the end of March. And I think that's very doable. And I'm very excited to finish that massive project V has. I think that will be a load off my mind as well when there's not like a deadline of, you know, someone's actual models. Because I think in a round robin, even though I don't like being late for stuff, people can forgive you being a bit late. But for a model, it's like, no, you need to be on time. So that was how much I did on my model. What I rolled on the dice on my whips to do in these last 2 weeks was Singer Sampler. So the other cursed project. So this is my Singer Sampler. 40 count cafe au lait. I'm doing 2 over 2. So it's chunky, but that's how I want it to be. I want it to be really bright and colourful. And so my goal for the year is to do all of the bits, not the words, because I haven't decided on a colour for the words. So I'm going to take it to Stitch North and get some hive mind help on what's going to look best for the words, whether it's all one colour, like 2 different colours, 8 different colours, 9 different colours with the words that go across the bottom. We'll see, but I don't think I can make that decision by myself. So what I did, what I did involves telling you about what I did wrong, which is not unusual for this project. So last time you saw it, I realised my mistake in Ray. It's 1 stitch too short this way. So I've had to squish the blue sky in, but still make sure that there's enough room for the words when I do stitch it. That's okay. We've fudged it. It's going to be okay. Me I decided you can stitch your name in here. They give you an alphabet to stitch your name. I don't like stitching my name in things. I don't like signing my work. I've realised that that's probably not the norm, but I'm okay with it. So instead of just doing all green for the grass, I've put these little white flower type things in to be like Edelweiss. So yeah, I was happy with that. It took me a while. I had to rechart this kind of whole area and see where I would put the flowers. I went online and I was trying to find an algorithm that would like randomize points in this kind of little area. And then I got into loads of math theories on randomization, because randomization isn't actually true randomization, because it could put all the points on one side, and when you want to kind of fill an area and for it to look random, it's actually another mathematical rule that you need. So I couldn't find anything that would help, so I just kind of went for it. And I'm very pleased with how it turned out. You know, it's not kind of even, looks like they were planted in rows or anything, and I think there's enough of them there that it doesn't look bare. There's not too much of them, it looks too full. I'm happy how my randomness turned out. So what I did find was that I was one stitch short on the blocks here, so I had to put one little stitch of yellow in there and one little stitch of green in here. And on the other side of this green, actually, because you can see the blue needs a stitch when I get to that. So the other personalisation that I've done on this is to rechart the runner on Far, A Long Way to Run, rechart it as Maria. And this has been done by a lot of people. I took a lot of inspiration from people on Instagram. I photocopied the chart and kind of basically highlighted over where I wanted like the dress to go and what her shoes look like and everything. It looks a bit washed out there, but actually it does look fine in real life. Choosing a colour for her dress was probably the hardest thing. Because I have a lengthy list of notes, because I'm keeping notes on all my conversion in case anybody asks me. So in my notes I just said like black, because that's what other people had done. And actually in the film her dress is not black, it's like grey striped, and then her apron is not white, it's like light grey. So I looked through all my stash, and this is actually a Cottage Garden Threads ampersand. I think it came in the Hearts for Pam box. It just gives it this perfect like dark grey and a hint of kind of stripe. And then her apron is Slate by Gast. Her shoes look a bit clunky, but I'm okay with it. Her shoes are black as her eye. I think it goes with the overall kind of aesthetic. A lot of people, when they've recharted her, they've done then like the skin 1/1 and done some back stitch, and I just don't think that was for me. I'm happy her looking a bit clunky. Again, her shoes in the film aren't black, they're like dark brown. I didn't have anything without kind of looking at my DMC, so I just did it in black, and that's fine. The stripes in here, I think because in the original chart it's like a runner, I think this is supposed to be like a racetrack, like, you know, the lanes in a racetrack. I've just done the green as if she's running on the hills. I'll see how it looks once I've got the words in. I might fill it in so it's a bit more like this. But I think it looks okay so far. So yeah, a lot of time, 3 blocks. So I've got 4 more to do, and yeah, hope I don't come across any more catastrophic errors. But yeah, really pleased with that so far. It's just so much mental energy with all of those conversions, and I had a tiny start on Dee's new Let's Make a Statement 4. So this is Gender Affirming Care Saves Lives. I'm doing it on 28 count, even weave, navy blue by Zweigart, as all the other ones are. This piece of fabric is just a little bit too small for my nerd hoop that I usually use with this, so I've ordered a smaller nerd hoop that's coming tomorrow, I think, so I can get this done. I think it is kind of smaller than this one. It'll fit the template that I have for these kind of swags, but I just cut it a bit too small. It's like 7 by 7. I should have cut it 8 by 8. But yeah, tiny little start, and that'll get done when my nerd hoop arrives. It won't take long at all, and I'll get it FFO'd as soon as. I'm gonna have to figure out another way of hanging this because you won't be able to see it. I need to kind of extend it a little bit more, and then more and more you won't be able to see it. Maybe I'll start it like over here and it'll come around the corner. We'll see. But yeah, don't want that one to languish. So haul. So I bought Let's Make a Statement number 4, like basically as soon as the email came. I'm still waiting for Making It Up swap, as I said. Yeah, don't know who it's from. Michelle, Chinook Crafter, who is organising with Megan, sent me the tracking, and it's been on quite an adventure since the 12th of January. So yeah, it's not moved from Dublin. I'm thinking whoever sent it needs to take it up with someone to get it found, or at least get their money back because they're out of pocket. So I'll maybe wait until it was in Dublin on the 31st of January. Maybe I should wait until the end of February. I don't know, how long do you leave it? Anyway, told you I signed up for a SAL. It's kind of the first, is it the first like mystery SAL that I've done? I'm not really counting Stitch for Pride, although it is a mystery SAL. This is kind of different. I've signed up for the Femurs and Fungi Mystery Stitch Along by Fine Frog Stitching. And I've seen like this kind of SAL before, the Lola Crow ones. You know, there's been a few. And I'm never tempted to sign up, but I saw this one and I was interested in like Femurs and Fungi. It's right up my street. Then they released the sneak peek of the frames, and I thought, ooh, That looks really good. The model's on this like purple fabric dyed by Witchy Garden Crafts. Don't know if I'm saying that right. Who is the designer of the tarot spread one that I picked up recently. I don't have a purple that would work, but on the information it said like a forest green by Zweigart. I just happen to have forest green by Zweigart in a 20 count even weave. So I'm gonna do it small, like 2/1 on 20 count. Maybe 1/1. We'll see what it kind of looks like. But I've pulled all the flosses for. I'll have to bobbin up. So I think those frames get released on the 8th of April, 5th of April. So we've got time. That's fine. But yeah, I think it's the first kind of mystery stitch along. I think they're getting released every 2 weeks, so I might not keep up. But it's more of a guide, isn't it? It's more of a guide. But that was some haul. Other haul that I got, my lovely friend Amie, Pearls and Ponderings, she recorded a Flosstube for the first time in a while, which was lovely. Didn't quite realise how many needle minders I'd sent her over the few years that we've known each other, because she did like a whip parade. Go watch it, I'll link it below. And she was saying about where all her needle minders from, and a lot of them were from me. But yeah, she said that she had a little something to send. Would I mind reminding her of my address? So yeah, she sent me some very cool scissors. I haven't had these type before. That like, but they feel really sharp. I don't think I've used them yet. I don't have anything that I could cut or that I should cut. But yeah, very good folding scissors. So I think I'll take those with me to Canada as well. I had the tiny little green ones. That I'm gonna take on the plane because I absolutely know that they're like safe. And then I'll have these ones in my like my regular notions bag. She also sent me 2 Mill Hill ornaments. Like just the pattern. Because I've got perforated paper and DMC and a ton of beads, so that's absolutely fine with me and lovely. So I will add these to my ornaments to make. I didn't make any ornaments this past Christmas. I've got 2 in my drawer. I should do them. And then the other thing that she picked up was these tiny little quilting squares, and she said they're all like Christmas themed. She said I thought they would be good for Quirky Quaker EPP, which they are. Absolutely perfect and amazing, because I've been like leaving out the Christmassy ones. So I can make a dedicated like Christmassy Quaker APP quilt. It'll be smaller than the big one, but I'll have some dedicated holiday stuff for that, which is really good. So thank you, Amie. That was lovely stitchy kindness. I think that's it. I'm looking around, everything's a bit of a mess, as is my life. Plans. Let's make a statement. Ink circles round robin. And then we'll see what whip I'm going to work on with my D20 dice. 17. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17. Oh, I knew it would be that. It's my chatelaine. That's good because Anna's out tonight. So I can get it out and get some good work on it. So the goal on that is to finish page 9, which I can't remember if it's far off or that's like basically a whole page. I can't remember. We'll see. Oh, I've got to stitch my smalls exchange for Stitch North. There's a pattern that I want to do, but then there's like other patterns that I want to add to it. So it might be a bit of finagling and I don't know. I've got time. Like I could stitch it the night before basically, but it's on my list to like do. Oh, the other thing that's on my plans, which probably shouldn't be on my plans, but is a new start. If you saw my birthday haul from October, my dad bought me a like stitch your picture kit, but it was with the 14 count pre-printed Ada and like the satin thread. So after talking to some people, I've decided to stitch it on a 25 count Lugana because it's got like the pattern book as well, so that's fine. So I ordered some Lugana because it's been 4 months since he got me that and I haven't started it, and it's a picture of Anna like, you know, as she is now, so I don't want it to sit there for a few years. It's not as confetti, so it won't take as long as my other full coverages and it'll be a lot smaller. So I just want that kind of on the go as well, even though I should be starting more. I want to kind of get it done. So yeah, I sorted out the threads for that and cut them up into usable pieces. I'm not sure if I'll do 2/1 tent stitch and then I could loop start. It might help, it might hinder the satin. I'm worried about the satin. But I want to start it. I want to get it done. Because there'll just be there's lots of blocks of colour on that, so that's be fine. So yeah, that should come tomorrow with my Nurge hoop. So I want to get a start on that and see how it goes. Life stuff. Me and Alex went away. What kind of away? It's only about an hour away. But my dad had bought us a night away at a hotel with like a stargazing experience thing, because it's in Northumberland National Park, which is a dark sky reserve. So somebody from the Keeler Observatory was going to come and show us stuff, but it absolutely peed it down. So this whole group of us that was on this package had a very nice dinner and then just a talk inside. It was a lovely talk. It was about the aurora and how to see it, because apparently this year and next year are going to be very good for aurora sightings. So it was very informative. It was lovely. We just didn't get like outside with the telescopes and stuff. But it was really good, and it was just nice to have a night away with Alex. So my dad had Anna for 3 nights. So yeah, on Saturday morning we went to Cragside because it's kind of up that way, and we hadn't been in a while because Cragside is like really hilly, really steep hikes, so not suitable for a 3-year-old that doesn't like walking. So it was nice to go back there with him because we used to do that a lot before we had Anna. And that's where we saw the like the wallpaper and the tiles, and also a really fun thing that I hadn't seen in the house before. So one of the rooms was like a sitting room, I guess, for the lady of the house. And on the door of that room is a Latin inscription. I can't remember what it says. Hold on. I'm going to put it on the screen and I'm going to read it. Read it terribly. Non qui regat sed, qui regata admitto. That was awful. That was terrible. But what that translates to is not he who asks, but who is asked is admitted. So you're not coming in if you're asked to come in. I'll ask you to come in if I want you. And I love that. So that's one of the things that I'm going to try and design and stitch and put at the front door, probably over cross patch, which is hanging at my front door at the minute. That would be really cool. I've got to see how to design it, how to stitch it, or if somebody else wants to design it for me, that would be great, because apart from getting like a free font and stitching it, I don't really know what I'm doing. That and Storm's a bit the poem. I'll just stitch it on a massive piece of 40 count, and as I go, it won't be like kind of a design, it'll just be stitching out the poem. But this is like kind of a thing, so whether it goes in like a wreath or like it is on the door like in a scroll, I don't know, but I loved it. Alex loved it. I need to stitch it. So yeah, then we went to the hotel. We had the night at the hotel. It was lovely. And yeah, just been working. All good. I just want to stitch. I want to stitch all the time. I'm just thinking about stitching constantly. I want to stitch on everything. I want to stitch all the things all the time. I think I'm going to go have some lunch. And I will talk to you later.